Stirring the coffee with black and white chopsticks using the vortex method, the only true way to optimize the taste of your coffee. At the molecular level. Good morning. Welcome to the Daybreak Show. I am the Sultan. We'll get started, but first, coffee. Ah, so perfect. Made in a percolator. This is a big percolator week. Some of you noticed yesterday, early on, a detective friend of mine noticed, I've been using black and white chopsticks all week. Black and white working together to create a vortex of positivity in a world that is negative. Makes sense, doesn't it? Some of you picked up on it. Thank you. Reading is one of the best things you can do for your brain. On top of that, reading different authors and genre stimulates the brain even more. Watching shows on TV and watching the news is almost a guarantee of cognitive impairment. It doesn't cause dementia, but it does cause a type of impairment which can complicate dementia. TV watching does not cause Alzheimer's. But there are many forms of impairment that are not Alzheimer's. A good spouse encourages reading and the TV off. All that being said, let me show you what I'm reading now. I'm in the middle of Michael Crichton's The Great Train Robbery. I guess he wrote this in what? The copyright for this is 1975. I think that's about around the same time that Andromeda Strain was written. But I'm really getting into this. And there are two movie versions of it. There's an old black and white version of this, and then there's also a based upon this. Now the story is true, but this particular novel, there was a movie done in 1979 called The Great Train Robbery with Sean Connery, Leslie Ann Down, and Donald Sutherland. And when I'm done reading this, I will watch the movie. I believe it's on Netflix or Prime. Should be interesting. On deck is H.G. Wells' The Time Machine. I read it maybe when I was 10 or 12 years old. I can't wait to read it again. And I know it's not just about time travel, science fiction. It goes deeper than that. You succeed because of your resourcefulness, not just your resources. You can actually start with nothing. That's the beautiful thing. So you're trying to get money, you're trying to get resources, you're frustrated because you don't have any. Let me show you something that you can get that doesn't cost anything, that will help you get all the money you need. It's a thing called resourcefulness. It's about knowing what to do with the things that you currently have and how to obtain them. If you are resourceful, the probability is great that you will reach your goals. If your goals are useful. If the goal is just to stack cash, it's not a good goal. What is the cash for? What is the reason behind it? For instance, I have 3 children and 2 aging parents. What great motivation. My co-goals, I shouldn't say secondary goals, but they're just as important as the things that I just mentioned, are the Daybreak Ranch and the Daybreak Studio for helping people. It's something I can do right to the day I die, and I can leverage my intellectual capital in such a way where lives are going to be changed and improved and empowered in a real way forever, long after I'm gone. So I'm using my resourcefulness to create that. You can have a ton of resources and capital, but if you're not resourceful, you will be broke. So, what a great combination. Resourceful and having resources, you will be unstuck and unstoppable. Right now, many of you don't have a lot of resources and capital. I encourage you to be resourceful. How can you organize? How can you manage the little bit that you have and multiply it? I like to say my motivation is my 3 children and my 2 aging parents. Alongside of that, equally as important is the Daybreak Studio, the Daybreak Ranch, which is my goal, which is going to help people. The content created is going to help people even long after I'm gone. I get minimum 80 to 100 emails and messages a day saying that my years of work have helped them and have pulled them out and have helped them to have some insight in relationships, making money, family issues, improving their life, real life examples. And that was the feedback that I needed over the years that proved to me that what I was doing was worthy, was correct. But I'm a very resourceful person. I didn't start out with anything. Literally, I didn't have 2 nickels to rub together. But because of my resourcefulness, I created a virtual kingdom for myself and my family. You are a brand. You're a brand. Association is everything. Work or associate only with those who elevate your brand. This kind of goes alongside with the teaching that you are the average of the 5 people that you associate or hang with. Think about yourself as a brand. Let's think about brands. I'm looking at, here's a bottle of Elmer's glue. It's a brand. It's different than other brands. This is associated with certain types of qualities. We know this brand. It's a white liquid glue. It is not super glue. It is not tacky glue. It is Elmer's glue. This is all-purpose, multi-purpose glue for household repairs, craft projects, and more. Dries fast, it's safe, and it's non-toxic. You know this. You know the colors. You know the orange cap, the white bottle. It's been in your life, your entire life. It's a brand. They do nothing to hurt this brand. Only things to elevate the brand. You are like that. What is your brand? What is it known for? Every person you associate with can either elevate your brand or bring it down. There's been a lot of relationship problems during 3 months of lockdown. I've said that distance ignites desire and familiarity breeds contempt. Many relationships have either been strengthened during this 3 months or are on rockier soil than they were prior. Lockdowns are funny things when you spend a lot of time with the other person. When all of this stuff is lifted, one of the best things to ever happen is someone leaving the house. People doing their own thing and having their own space. It's not a testament to how much you love each other, because no matter how much you love each other, being in each other's space all the time, under the same roof, can drive even the best couples crazy. Whatever you do, don't eat salads. Because everywhere I go, I only see fat people eating them. No salads. No Diet Pepsi. Or rice cakes. Only fat people eat those. Name some things that you purchased in your lifetime where you never got buyer's remorse. List it down below. I'd like to see the things that you are still 100% confident and happy about. You know, like when you buy a pair of sneakers or certain garments, you get psyched about having them, and then after you have that, after you purchase it, you're just doesn't seem as exciting anymore. I find that fascinating. I think about the things that I've purchased. The Toyota Tacoma. Do not regret that at all. I love that truck. It's so, in the past, I had a Ford F-150, a full-size truck. And is everything all right? I know you get worried about a lot of things, don't you? Patrolling the house. I had a Ford F-150. I loved it. It ate up the gas. Like, you have no idea. But I did love it. I was up high. I felt safe. It was it wasn't a crew cab, but it did have the extended cab, and it had a fairly respectable seat in the back that the 3 kids would fit in. It was good. Now with the Toyota Tacoma extended cab, I forget, they don't even call it the extended cab. There's another name for it. With a 6-foot bed, it sits up a little higher than a car, but I'm not above the traffic. I wish I was up a few inches higher. But the bed is just big enough for me to move everything from a couch to firewood to mulch to whatever I want, any equipment. I do not regret having the Toyota Tacoma. I'm looking at a big gas grill out on the deck. No regrets with that. I think I've used it every day for the past month, and I will use it every single day. You know, in the summertime, I cook out almost every day. Doesn't matter what it is. Everything from pizza to, like last night, I had 2 massive chicken breasts. I made chicken strips, I marinated them, threw them on the grill. Just 100% carnivore, and 2 big glasses of water. So that grill gets a lot of use. That grill gets more use during these 3 and 4 summer months than the oven and stove do. I love cooking outside. No regrets with that. 0 regrets with that. 0 regrets. I'm trying to think of the Soda Stream. I love seltzer water. It actually helped me kick the soda habit many years ago. What else do I love? Things where there's 0 regrets. I'm just looking in front of me, like my Leatherman. I love this thing. Do you have a Leatherman? No regrets. I remember when these first came out, they were a little more expensive than just your average knife. And I've had a lot of multi-tools, but nothing. This is Old Faithful right here in the leather holster. Great stuff. The Invicta watch. This is going to last me about 10 years. I'm really bad on watches. Bad. I need to get the bracelet resized because this thing is huge. I could actually put it on and bring it up to my forearm. So I need to get it resized. Really love that. These glasses, I spent a little more money in these glasses, and I never got the matching sunglasses to go with my glasses, and I got these, and I love them. Polarized clip-on glasses, just like things like that. But so many other things in my life, I'm like, eh. Name some things that you got. My Opinel knife. I have so many knives. There's 2 knives that I use more than any others. I have a Spyderco Delica that I use, and I have this Opinel number 8. Just a classic knife with a collar that sets the blade. And I use this like as a steak knife, cutting vegetables, cutting fruit, everything. I use it for everything, opening mail, everything. I love it. What do you have in your life that you don't have any buyer's remorse, that you use super often, that you really enjoy? List it down below. That being said, have you ever been really hungry for an item, motorcycle, a car, a gun, sneakers, anything, and then you realize that the thought of getting it is greater than owning it, the thrill of the chase? And that can happen with people too. Hunger and thirst for things. If you solve your thirst problem for things and people, you're going to eliminate 90% of your problems. You know what I want you to thirst for? Righteousness. Honesty. Authenticity. Resourcefulness that we talked about earlier. You'll have all that you could ever want. Resourcefulness will give you all that you could possibly want. If you hunger and thirst for anything, let it be for resourcefulness, righteousness. But your problem, or I should say your problems, can be removed if you eliminate hunger and thirst for things that don't last. Stuff. Putting people on a pedestal. You need to be with someone for 2 years before throwing down any kind of anchor. I know there's the guys that dated someone for 3 weeks, or you went out somewhere and you knew she was the one. You knew he was the one after. Okay, you are rare. So I take your story and I just think, okay, that's the exception to the rule. Because there's always so, well, we only dated for 2 weeks and we knew that we were for each other. And we've been married for 30 years. Okay. Now let's talk to the rest of the world and how most people operate. You need to be with someone 2 years before throwing down any kind of anchor or a life commitment. Quietly keep in mind how many times you will overlook discrepancies. Don't say something like 3 strikes and you're out. If you've had enough of discrepancies or things that you just don't see yourself living with or don't want to put up with. You know, some people have to have breakups. And they gotta be hard and painful. Can you imagine thinking and then saying, I don't think we're a good match. I love you, but I don't think we're a good match. And you don't have to say anything else. You just don't have to say anything else. I don't think we're a good match for each other. And it's a rational decision rather than emotional decision. In the long run, those kind of breakups work better than cheating or finding someone else first and then easing the other person out of your life and easing a new person in. Or, I mean, in the past, I've dated women who literally the next weekend had a different man in their bed, or they were staying at a guy's house the next weekend. I'm like, how the hell can they do that? Part of your vetting is to look at their past relationships and see if they were the ones who initiated the breakup or divorce. Men, if you're courting a woman, and let's just say she's had a number of boyfriends in her life, if she broke up with every single one of them, what makes you think that you're not going to get broken up with? I know. You're the king. I know. You established frame. Dude, you could end up being just another one of those guys. It speaks volumes in a very inconvenient truth that nobody ever talks about. Inquire into past relationships and find out somehow, some way, or just ask. Who broke up with who? If they have a pattern of sabotaging relationships, you're in for it, buddy. A woman can say that she only occasionally smokes, but her face will always tell a different story. Women's appearances succumb to substances more than men do. Smoking and drinking is just, and drugs, but let's just say smoking and drinking does take its toll on every human being who does it. Eventually. But women, that's one rough look. The best thing you can do for yourself if you smoke and drink is to stop smoking and drinking. Smoking, you're just killing yourself. You end up with a look. No one ever smokes without squinting their eyes or doing weird things with their facial muscles. That's why they end up with these weird wrinkles, these vertical wrinkles in the top of their lip, and like these, it's not even crow's feet anymore. It just looks like just like the face is all scrunched. When a person inhales from like a cigarette, you're just teaching these muscles to do weird things, and the face looks like it, and then the voice sounds like it. Not a good thing. Add to that alcohol, which is just constantly dehydrating you, constantly taking the moisture out of your body. Oh, what a shitty combination. But I only smoke occasionally. Yes, but your face is telling me a different story. I am looking at some sponsors for the show. Gold and silver sponsors. Email me, gb@georgebruno.com. Long-term food storage, prepper type food. Email me, gb@georgebruno.com. Looking for a coffee sponsor. A monthly coffee sponsor for the show. What else? What are the other possible sponsors for the show? Any other businesses that you have that you think that my audience would benefit from, you contact me, gb@georgebruno.com. I'm going to build the Daybreak studio, which is going to be a real studio and not my kitchen, not a cozy nook. And I'm going to build the Daybreak Ranch. And at the Daybreak Ranch, I will be doing intensive, life-saving counseling and coaching for people, and producing the podcast and the video. And with that, finish your coffee. And I'll see you Monday morning on the Daybreak Show. Please look out for the special videos coming out this weekend. I always try to have something different, something of interest for you on the weekends. I work this 7 days a week, and I do it for you. I'll see you Monday morning on the Daybreak Show, your home of sanity, clarity, and reason. Decisiveness. You ever notice at the times in your life that you're really fucked up, or when you were not decisive, or when you made the wrong decision? It's time to stop that shit.